Manish, thanks for taking time out and speaking to us for this conversation. As I mentioned, this is a growth dialogue series that we are doing as Vivriti Capital. The idea is to speak to entrepreneurs and leaders who are the game changers of the industry. I'll try to frame the dialogues in the same way as we saw you as a business when you first approached Vivriti Capital, right? So to start with, a little bit about Cilicant and the industry that you operate in. I'm sure everyone would have seen a silica gel at some point in their life. But as you had explained to us, the desiccant industry has much wider and critical end users, right? So, just a couple of minutes about yourself, about the industry that you operate in, and the value add that you provide for your customer.
Hi, Amit. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to discuss about myself and the company. I'm excited to share my story, about myself. Silicant is engaged in manufacturing of active packaging material, and we are marketing and providing the solution to the food industry as well as healthcare industry. Now, we have on the journey to become the trustworthy brand globally. So this is ultimately our vision of the company, and right now we have almost like 350 employees, and we are serving not only India market, we are also serving US and the other part of the world. So this is something about Silicant.
Silicant is one of the few domestic players in the Indian market, right? And the market is generally dominated by international players. Now, if you could, just talk for a couple of minutes about what sparked your interest in this product and segment in the first place, and you being one of the few domestic players, how have you created a niche for yourself and recognition and recall for your brand?
Yeah, to give your answer in full, it will from childhood I was playing with this product and I was knowing this product only silica gel, as you rightly mentioned in the beginning. So that time I was young and with a full of dreams to make a big business, to have an industry in a big manner. So I've learned only one thing: whatever you know, you do the best in the best manner. So to make silica gel in a big manner in a big industry, a product was not good enough. Then I started the journey to make silica gel to active packaging, and in between many of the industry I've tried. The most profitable industry, I will not say only profitable industry, the respect for this product was more in the healthcare industry. And this was not due to only the product. This was due to the function the product is providing and the manner. Actually, you can say the manufacturer here, when they use desiccant in the healthcare industry, they are not only using the product.
Right.
They want to understand whether this product is safe to use with their product. It should really work, because this small sachet is the product which for they are using. It's very expensive and monetary wise, and same, it is very essential when it reaches to end user, that is a patient.
Correct.
So that time the drug should work the life can be saved. So to maintain the shelf life of that medicine, this active packaging is very important.
Right.
So one who can understand the quality and who really require the good quality product, they will definitely respect and like to have the product with the good manufacturer.
Yeah.
The moment I realize this, I start working on this project, and it was not an easy journey in the beginning. Like nowadays, when I talk to you guys, you all have this Excel sheets and financial experts and all that. That time in my team, these things were not there. Sometimes I think it was good that it was not there, because an entrepreneur can understand his journey more well than these Excel sheets.
Yeah.
So when I was not knowing, I was not knowing the obstacles, and I know only the one thing which I had was a courage and patience and my openness to learning. Every day was a challenge, but I never gave up. The 3 years continuously, every day, I worked very hard, and I had a very good team to support me. And after the beginning 3 years, every year we progress like anything, we never look back. So this industry only understand when the customer demand is about the quality. The quality is not one day task. It's required consistency and continuous improvement, which we understood, and we as a Cilicant whole team maintain the same every day. So we are always open to learn, and we are always like, we are not satisfied till our customer is satisfied. So this has given us the strength of like trust of the market, and which end of the day result in our Excel sheets like balance sheets.
Sure. So Manish, it's always fascinating to hear the other side of the story, whereas we in financial markets try to project things that will happen 10 years into the future. And, for entrepreneurs, it's like handling challenges every day as they come, not knowing the unknown, and tackling them as your organization grows. So yeah, it's an eye opener for us as well, that things may not go wrong if they can go wrong. So this is the other side of Murphy's law. And as you rightly explained, the products that you what I was hinting initially, that silica gel, seemingly small sachet, that people may or may not know the importance, but for pharma industry, although it's a small component, the end use is very critical. And it again, Indian market is evolving, but especially in the European and American markets, how the product is made and if everything has been adhered to and complied with is stressed upon a lot. And I think that is what has helped you gain customers, gain recognition, and create a brand for yourself, right?
I think you have given all the answers yourself only in the question. I don't have to say anything.
So this is what I hear, but I'm sure a lot.
This is the only the truth. This is the main, usually all the truth, and very well that if I give you like an example of water, like we all drink mineral water. The day the distillery was started, nobody was thought that time nobody had projected that distillery would be having so much market worldwide.
Right.
Now you and me, everybody, we are drinking this distillery water. So number one is the quality of the product, maintaining that quality, and of course the pharma industry requires the quality product. So now as a Silicate, we not only focusing on the healthcare industry and the food industry, which majorly require the quality product. There are other industries who also require to increase the shelf life of the product, such as electronics and high fashion brands who understand also again the quality. So we are also now once like we have gained the trust of healthcare industry, food industry. Now we are toward this year we are focusing towards the electronic industry and also to the other sector.
Sure.
The problem with the desiccant was there was not a good brand in the market which was maintaining the quality. Every desiccant manufacturer in the beginning, including me, we were focusing on the sales of the commodity wise. So when you sell on the commodity wise, you are behind the prices, and to maintain the cheap price, it is very difficult to maintain the quality at that time.
Correct.
But but once you decided to give the right quality at the right place and the right time, so you will never compromise with the quality. Definitely, the consumer once he knows and once he become habituated of using the quality product, he'll never go back to the cheapest product or the bad quality products. So I'm talking about the other sectors.
Correct.
Like, for example, you are manufacturing some leather jackets and you are exporting to Germany. Earlier, where you are not having a quality desiccants, you are paying only say 1 rupee for a pouch, and when you are getting a good kind of desiccant, which is not only giving a good shelf life to your leather jacket, it is also giving a good impression to your brand in when you send this jacket to a buyer overseas. So definitely you will ready to pay, instead of 1 rupee you will pay 2-3 rupees more for a right product and a high quality product. But the thing is that it should be available, and somewhere down the line it should be easy to get that product to your factory. So there is a gap, still there is a gap which Silicate is trying to fulfill, and now we are also providing our product from online sale of Amazon like B2B, where this small exporters are also now using our product for their goods which they are exporting to the worldwide market.
Right.
So on there we have to make a tagline: be premium, buy premium, sell premium.
Right.
So this how the Cilicant brand is becoming stronger and stronger every day.
Understood. Now, I would just like to prod on that for a moment. As you rightly said, quality is what creates stickiness with your customers, right? Having said that, still the end use industries that you cater to are quite wide, right? Pharma, food, electronics, as you just mentioned. Now, does it require just good quality product for you to enter into various segments, or does it require you to develop an expertise over time that also creates a barrier to entry, so that you have a much stronger position because of first mover advantage?
When I say quality of a product, it does not restrict to the product only. It also like the quality of the application. Like our sales team, our technical sales team, especially when what product to be used, which what product, and how in what manner is to be used is very important. So it's
Right.
not that Silicant is selling the product. Wherever there is a problem of any mold growth or any kind of shelf life, our team get in touch with the consumer. They understand their problem, and in most of the cases we have like other experience of other customers, and
Sure.
on the basis of on that knowledge we provide the knowledge to our customers, and we provide the solution. Sometimes we have to do R&D activity in our R&D office, like area. So we do that also. And once that solution is with us, we give the correct solution to the customer. And before he commercially buy the material, we make sure that he has tasted the material and he liked that product.
Okay.
Then only we go for a commercial agreement with them for a longer sale. This how we don't only gain the trust of the customer, we also restrict competition in that product for that customer also.
Understood. Okay. So next, I just wanted to understand your perspective. As per my perception, the European and the US market is quite developed, right? Already in how desiccants are to be used and the specifications required for pharma or healthcare or any other segment. In terms of the domestic market, both in terms of the demand in the domestic market and new players entering the domestic market as manufacturers. Any perspective of how it has evolved in the let's say last 5 to 10 years, and how do you see it evolving in the next, let's say, 5 years?
When I started this manufacturing in 2011 in Pune, that time there were, like, especially I will talk about now healthcare industry. There were two major foreign players, and they were having only the warehouse in India. Once I started, they also started manufacturing in India. So first,
Right.
they also thought that make in India is required, and we have to serve this market by manufacturing locally. So thanks to them, and they have also started locally, and that has improved the market.
Yep.
And it is not that there are no competitors or no, there are many manufacturers, but everybody were not knowing how to give the correct solution to the customer. Like
Right.
silica gel, everybody manufacture. I will give you an example of like food industry, and especially a brand Haldiram, which we all are well aware. So Haldiram, they were trying with a lot of other kind of active packaging material. When I went there, and personally, in the beginning, I requested them before going it commercially, and they also agree to this point that before going it commercially, we will taste your material. Well, then we have given, that is not a silica gel, that is oxygen absorber. We have given the oxygen absorber for tasting their sweet for say 60 days.
Okay.
The shelf life which they were getting without the oxygen absorber was much below than that. Once they were happy with having a shelf life up to 90 days, then only they started using this product. Until now, it's almost like 5 to 6 years. They are not, like, every product what they are packing for their stores, they are using our oxygen absorbers. So here they have studied the product, they have understood the use, we have understood the application, and how the results are, we have proved that.
Okay.
So they have used after that. So it's not only the selling of the product. So this part is missing in the competition with the competitors.
Okay.
So this is the point where Cilicant go ahead and able to sell the product to the customer. So we never sell, we actually provide the solution. So this keep our brand little bit different from the other competitors.
Sure. So if I understand you correct, and I'll just rephrase that the way I see it, it's not a product where a foreign manufacturer can come and dump it in the market and people will buy. It's more of a solution that as and when your customers understand the need for it and realize its importance, that is how the market will grow. So it's more organic rather than a copy paste from US and Europe market, right?
Correct.
Got it. Having touched upon several of these topics, I wanted to understand how your journey has been during the COVID times. Must have been difficult, was for every industry. But in hindsight, has it affected the industry, the desiccant industry, in a positive way or a negative way, or you don't see much impact coming due to COVID?
Like, as everybody was having the challenges, even the desiccant industry was having the challenges during those time, especially during the COVID when it was the peak time. But thanks to the government policies and the support of the government, that they allowed to import the raw material freely for whatever we are going to use for pharma industry. And that time there was a huge demand of the pharma industry. We have to run our factory facility for 24 by 7 for with 30% of the staff, which was quite challenging. But during that time, we have also opened our third facility, which was dedicated to pharma, and we have successfully did that. During this pandemic or after the pandemic, people, especially in the food industry, they have understood more. They was more careful about the being a product safe to eat, and it should be properly packed, and the hygiene factor, everything came in the picture. It's more demanding from the end consumer side to every food manufacturer. Like, they have paid, they have maintained, and they have invested a lot on capex to give the proper packing to the product.
Right.
And same time they have studied, they have made the investment in increasing the product shelf life, so that they can, even in the pandemic situation, because making a food in one day and it was not reaching to the end consumer on the shorter period, so everybody was dependent on the packaging, and the transit time was more during that time. So shelf life was a huge requirement. So they have understood this point, and same time our product don't only give the shelf life, it also safe to use. When they understood this point, we got a huge demand from the food industry. Definitely, this after the pandemic, we had a good demand from the food industry, which has given a good numbers of sales growth in our business also.
Right. So, COVID times being difficult, in hindsight, it has given a boost to the overall utility of desiccant, especially in the food industry. Right? If I were to summarize what you just said.
Correct.
I also wanted to check with you now. All entrepreneurs and upcoming businesses, they have expectations, a lot of expectations from the budget, right? Especially for the current budget, anything that you were looking forward to, any positive surprises for you, anything, or does it not impact your business and businesses?
I personally was not looking for anything from budget, especially specifically for active packaging industry. But definitely, if something good come for my customer, that is healthcare industry, and of course the exporters, has been benefited to me also. So recently I have heard that in the budget we have seen that government has increased the fund allocation for R&D in the healthcare industry from 100 crores to 1200 crores, which is quite good thing, and it is going to increase my product demand in the healthcare industry end of the day. So this is I'm happy about from the budget.
Sure. So no direct impact, but positively impacts your clients, which trickles down to you.
Yeah.
All right. Lastly, I would want to briefly get your perspective. When the Cilicant and Vivriti journey started, I know that you were looking for growth capital. Working capital for one of the factories that was just set up and being operationalized. So, just your thoughts and in hindsight, how has the association been with Vivriti Capital? How has the journey been, and how do you see it evolving over the next several years?
For me, like Vivriti Capital Services, I'm very much satisfied. I will tell you the fund as a businessman or as a entrepreneur, whenever I have a requirement of the funds, it is I'm more worried about the right time getting the funds because the opportunity comes anytime and
Right,
we have a time limitation to grab that opportunity and to make the business out of it. So in the normal cases when we go through bank and if you want to raise the funds from any other private equity or something like it's a long lengthy process.
right,
So most of the time we miss that opportunity because of the non-availability of the funds.
right.
So here comes a role of Vivriti Capital. So if they support the industry in that time, the entrepreneur can grab this opportunity and they can make the business. So more than the fund, how it comes, in what rate of interest, which more important, right time it should come to the utilization. Because the delay in that will affect the numbers.
Right. As you rightly said, and I'm sure it's the same across story across other industries as well. The most critical aspect is quick turnaround rather than anything else, which can be
Correct.
solved for at a later stage.
Correct.
Uh, all right, Manish, I think that's pretty much what we wanted to hear from you. Delighted to have you here, and thanks again for taking time out.
Thank you, Amit. Thanks a lot.